The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they called Gitche Gumee. November 10, 1975, Lake Superior. The worst storm in decades. Hurricane-force winds, 35-foot waves, a blizzard reducing visibility to zero. At 7:10 p.m., Captain Ernest McSorley radios a nearby ship. We are holding our own. 5 minutes later, the Edmund Fitzgerald vanishes from radar. 29 men. Gone. In minutes. No distress call. No survivors. No chance. A year later, Canadian folk singer Gordon Lightfoot released a song, "The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald." It became a haunting memorial, a ballad that ensured the crew would never be forgotten. This is their story. The ship, the storm, the tragedy, and the song that made them immortal. The Edmund Fitzgerald was a queen, 729 feet of Great Lakes freighter. When she launched in 1958, she was the largest ship on the Great Lakes. She wasn't glamorous. She was a working vessel, an ore carrier, hauling taconite iron pellets from the mines of Minnesota to the steel mills of Detroit. Industrial, essential, the backbone of Great Lakes commerce. Captain Ernest McSorley commanded her, 63 years old, 44 years on the lakes, a respected veteran, a cautious sailor who knew Superior's moods. His crew? 29 men, some veterans like him, others young, learning the trade, deckhands, engineers, cooks, working-class men doing a dangerous job. November 9, 1975, Superior, Wisconsin. The Fitzgerald loads 26,116 tons of taconite pellets. Routine cargo, routine voyage, Detroit bound. She departs the afternoon of November 10th, following behind the Arthur M. Anderson, another ore carrier, Captain Jesse Cooper. The two ships travel together, safety in numbers, company in the vast loneliness of Superior. Lake Superior, the largest, deepest, coldest of the Great Lakes, an inland sea, 600 miles long. Storms here rival the ocean. November is the worst month, the gales of November. Old sailors know you don't take chances in November. The weather forecast warned of a storm, gale warnings, but these were experienced captains. They'd seen storms before. The shipping season was ending, one more run before winter shut the lakes down. By November 10th, the storm was massive, winds exceeding 90 miles per hour, snow reducing visibility to nothing, waves building, 30 feet, 35 feet, mountains of water. The Fitzgerald and Anderson pushed on, seeking shelter in the lee of the Canadian shore, trying to avoid the worst. Throughout the day, the captains communicate, position reports, weather updates, professional, routine. 1 p.m., McSorley reports damage, fence rail down, vents damaged. The ship has a list, tilting to one side. She's taking on water. But the pumps are working. The crew is experienced. McSorley sounds concerned but not panicked. 3:30 p.m. We are holding our own.
The storm worsens. Darkness falls. The ships push through the maelstrom. 7:10 p.m. Anderson radios. How are you making out? McSorley's reply, we are holding our own. 7:15 p.m. The Anderson's radar operator notices something. The Fitzgerald's radar signature is gone. He assumes it's snow interference. He checks again. Still gone. 7:25 p.m. The Anderson calls. No response. The Edmund Fitzgerald has disappeared. The Coast Guard launches immediately into 90-mile-per-hour winds, into 35-foot waves, into a November blizzard. They search through the night, heroic, dangerous, desperate. November 11th, dawn. The storm begins to calm. Debris appears, life jackets, pieces of boat, an oil slick. No survivors, no distress signals, no emergency beacons activated. 29 men, all lost, the entire crew. Families in Michigan, Ohio, Wisconsin, waiting for news that would never come. The funerals were held across the Great Lakes region. 29 services, communities mourning, church bells ringing. In the Maritime tradition, bells tolled 29 times, once for each soul. The Edmund Fitzgerald was gone, the worst disaster on the Great Lakes in modern memory. November 14, 1975, 4 days later, sonar locates the wreck, 17 miles northwest of Whitefish Point, 530 feet down. The Navy sends a submersible, CURV-III. The first images are shocking. The ship is broken in two. The bow section sits upright, the stern upside down, separated. Catastrophic structural failure. But what caused it? The storm? Yes, but how exactly did she sink?
Theory 1, a rogue wave, a Three Sisters phenomenon. 3 massive waves in succession, each one larger, overwhelming the ship, breaking over the deck, flooding her. Theory 2, structural failure. The Fitzgerald was 17 years old, carrying maximum cargo, stressed, fatigued. Did her hull simply give way? Theory 3, shoaling. Did she scrape bottom on 6-fathom shoal, damaging her hull, taking on water? Theory 4, hatch covers failed. Water entered the cargo holds. The taconite shifted, stability lost. Most likely, all of them. A perfect storm of factors. An aging ship, maximum cargo, damaged hatches, towering waves, structural stress. She went down fast, bow first, stern rising, then breaking, sinking in minutes. No time for a distress call, no time to abandon ship, no time for anything. Even if they'd gotten off the ship, Lake Superior in November is 39 degrees Fahrenheit. You have minutes before hypothermia takes you. Massive waves, darkness, no one survives that. June 1976, Canadian folk singer Gordon Lightfoot releases a song, The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. It's unusual, a contemporary ballad about a real disaster, 6 minutes long, narrative, haunting. The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they called Gitchagumi. Superior, they said, never gives up her dead when the gales of November come early. The song becomes a phenomenon, top of the charts, played on radio, covered by other artists, but it's more than entertainment.
It's a memorial. Lightfoot captured something. The dignity of working sailors, the power of Superior, the tragedy of lives lost. He made sure the 29 would never be forgotten. Every November 10th, the Great Lakes Shipwreck Museum holds a ceremony. The ship's bell, recovered in 1995, rings 29 times. Families gather. The names are read. 29 men, sons, fathers, husbands, brothers, working-class heroes doing a dangerous job. The official investigations concluded multiple factors, no single cause, the complexity of disaster. Debate continues. Maritime experts analyze. New underwater footage reveals more detail, but we'll probably never know exactly what happened in those final minutes. Lake Superior is an inland sea, fresh water, but don't be fooled. She's as dangerous as any ocean. More, perhaps, colder, more unpredictable. The Ojibwe called her Gitchigumi, the big sea water. They knew her power. November storms on Superior are legendary. The gales of November have claimed hundreds of ships over the centuries. The Fitzgerald is the most famous, but not the first, not the last. 29 men sailed into that storm. Let me read their names.
Ernest McSorley, Captain. John McCarthy, First Mate. James Pratt, Second Mate. Michael Armagost, Third Mate. Thomas Edwards, Second Assistant Engineer. And 24 more. Crew members, working men, ages from 20 to 63. They rest now in Superior, in the cold, dark water, 530 feet down. The lake that was their livelihood became their grave. But Gordon Lightfoot kept his promise. The legend lives on. Every time that song plays, and it plays somewhere every day, 29 men are remembered. The Edmund Fitzgerald, Queen of the Great Lakes, and the 29 who went down with her, November 10th, 1975. Superior never gives up her dead, but we'll never forget them.